Daisy?
Okay. All right. So our first applicant was approved. I don't know. I don't have the folder in front of me, but they were once before our board, 25 Tangle Wild, and they've returned with revised plans. So who's here? The architect?
Yes.
Hi,
Hi.
Amanda. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Is the
I'm
owner
Amanda
also
Linhart.
on? Is it just
I do
you?
not think so. It's usually their bedtime for the 3 kids, so they're a little
Okay.
busy usually right now.
Okay, perfect.
So it's just me,
All
I
right,
think. Okay, so if you don't mind, I can share my screen.
perfect.
Okay. I'll share the drawings first. I wanted to share with you the changes that we made. So after we got the bids back from the contractors, we decided we were able to add a little bit more space to the house. And what we decided to do, these are the drawings that I presented at the last meeting. I don't remember how long ago that was. But we weren't going to touch the garage originally. So the ridge of the garage and the roof structure of the garage, it was going to move out, but we weren't going to change the height of it. But when now I'm sharing, can you see the new elevation?
So is the top the old approved elevation and the bottom is what you want to get approved?
So this is existing.
That's it, totally existing. Okay.
This is existing. And this is what we would like to get approved now. So what I was showing you before was what we had gotten approved at the last meeting. I don't know if that makes a difference, but what we would like to get approved now is we're
Well,
going
it's
to
always easy, depends on the change, that's the thing about it.
yeah. We'd like to raise the roof over the garage to add another room over the garage. And by doing that, what we wanted to do was to kind of split the roof levels so that we still have a main body of the house here and the garage level is still a little bit lower. Then what we would do is add a room over the garage with some windows, change out the garage door as we were doing before. But then also on the second floor, we were bumping out just the entry. Now we're bumping out the first and the second floor over the entry. If you want to see what that looks like in the floor plans, I will just scroll the plans real quick. For the garage, what we wanted to do was to put in a workout room over the garage. They don't have a basement in their house, so they're kind of stuck with kind of trying to figure out where they have 3 small children, where to put the children without having a basement and without having them in the main living room of the house. They do have a little playroom over here, but upstairs they wanted kind of a workout room and an office and then another bathroom. So that's what we've kind of fit into this space over the garage. And then by bumping out the second floor entry, it just looked a lot better, in my opinion, in the front facade to have the entry taller next to the garage. And then to gain a little bit more space in this bedroom, because in order to make this change, we had to change the interior staircase of the house as well. Just to show you a demolition plan, the stair used to come up and then bend. But in order to get into this space over the garage, we're going to have to rip out the whole staircase and do a straight run staircase up from the entryway, which then allows us to have access to the hallway and then access to this room over the garage. If I can show you the other elevation. So this is gaining us some square footage, which is really nice to have without the basement space. I'm going to zoom out. So having that nice tall ceiling rec space over the garage is great. On the side, we didn't want to change. It's funny, we have this room here, which is kind of their favorite room of the house. And so they didn't want to change this room. It has a vaulted ceiling right now with skylights, and it's a really nice bright room. So we wanted to keep this roof line. So in order to add over the garage, we created some clear story windows on this facade, which you'll see in the back here, which overlook the roof of the existing playroom that they really love, that has the nice bright light. From the side, you have your garage on the first floor, and then this is the workout room above the garage, and then the office is in this space right here. The other thing we did was just add a railing to the deck because they were concerned about fall hazard. It's not required by code, but we put it in because it would look better and would work better for their family. So from the other side elevation, to see the different roof heights, it's kind of hard to visualize on these flat elevations. And then this is the back view here. The rest of it is staying the same. We're still keeping the same. Everything else that was approved at the last meeting is the same. The siding is white. The shingles are a slate color. The window trims are white. The chimney is existing brick. I can show you pictures. Let me see. I think I need to stop my share and do a new share. This is the existing house. So we're changing all the siding. We're taking off the existing shutters. Adding this entryway will just kind of break up this very flat facade that there is now. We're also doubling up the windows on the second floor so that they have a little bit more presence. And then over the garage, it will just give the house, again, a little bit more of a scale, which, we think will be better and kind of, again, give it a little bit more character than it has right now. And then I know you want to see adjacent properties. Let me see. Can you see this one?
We probably saw all those. No, it's the same slide.
Oh, it's the same slide. Let me just stop share and then. Okay. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. The houses are all of the same character in the neighborhood. We've got the neighbor to the right is this white house here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
29 Tango Wild. Their street view is very, very hard to see. They're the one in the middle. Their driveway kind of curves around to the back. So from the street, you can't really see it that very well. And then 21 Tango Wild is here. This their neighbor to the left. So that's
Can we
where
just go to the front elevation again, please?
Sure, absolutely. There we go. Oh, and we
So
also are.
Why do you have shingles over the front door?
In
Is that
this
just
area?
yeah?
That was really just to kind of break up the facade a little bit. To be honest, I don't know if I've actually reviewed that with them. So that is definitely up for grabs if we want to change that out to just continuing the lap siding up into the gable.
I mean, that doesn't occur anywhere else on the house.
No, it doesn't. No.
Does anyone have an opinion?
I agree. Well,
I
I questioned the gable to begin with over the front.
Oh.
I mean, I think the two gables right there are fighting with each other. They're different sizes, and I would probably just keep the flat roof going across the main building and leave the gable on the garage. And I question the, not that everything has to be symmetrical, but the top left corner adding a double window kind of it seems a little off balance. And the front door with the two glass windows and the lanterns and the two side windows is really cramming a lot of stuff in there. And, it just seems a little tight.
So the one issue with the gable over the entry, I don't know if it's clear from the drawings, but let me just scoot to the plans here. It bumps out a little bit. So we need to put some sort of roof structure. It wouldn't be as flat across gutter. It would have to come out a little bit and then go across. So we need to do some sort of roof structure over that bump out. The reason for the bump out is because we had to change these stairs. So in order to get clearance in front of the front step, we needed to bump out the entry. So the roof line would have to stagger somehow, and it would be impossible to line the gutters up if it's bumped out like that. So that's why we put the gable on the front. I can see the point of the entryway, and I could consider maybe putting a shed roof or something. They wanted some sort of cover over the front door. But if we combined the windows and the door underneath one consistent roof, maybe a shed roof or something like that, I think that would be fine.
What about a shed over the garage? Do you need to have a gable over the garage? I mean, do you need two gables?
That one, I don't know. Let me think about that. We tried many different roofs over the garage. The issue with that is, I guess if we changed the ridge, we can't get the ridge to go too high because we're kind of stuck with, we wanted the ridge to be where it is right here, because if it goes higher, so for instance, if we wanted this to be a peak that goes like this, I guess, where the ridge would be very high, I think, if we didn't do the gable. So what the gable allows us to do is basically take a ridge and go off of it without raising the roof up extraordinarily high. I guess we can't continue this line because then we don't get enough head height in order to walk into the room itself from the stairs, which occurs in relatively this zone. So it is a little bit complicated. I think that gable unfortunately has to remain as well. This one is set forward and this one's set back. So they're not in the same plane. So I think and they're the same slope. So we tried to kind of keep all of that in mind. And because the one over the garage is significantly more forward than the other one, I don't think it's going to read the way a flat elevation would read. Yeah. But I do, I do see this roof situation.
I think if that's a shed, it'll be better.
Over the
over the front door.
Yeah,
that'll help a lot.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The gables don't bother me.
think
That
the plan
other window
reads-
on the left doesn't bother me.
reads well versus the elevation. The elevation just looks a little flat, even though it isn't. So once you look at the plan, I think you can definitely see the depth of the facade.
And maybe changing the siding, just like you
Yeah.
suggested, to be consistent.
Can you hear us? Probably
Yes.
not.
Yes, I can.
And what
Yeah,
is
changing the setting.
The siding, is it, you're changing the siding to what material is it, the siding? I
We're
know it's
using-
white.
Hardy plank lap siding with a 6-inch exposure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we're saying we prefer the shed over the front door. There is a lot going on with the windows, but
Those two
I think
doors,
that
is
was
that a double door front door?
It is, yeah.
So we're suggesting the
maybe
shed,
even smaller.
the shed
Yeah.
roof,
Smaller side lights, narrower. Yeah,
the shed roof, the shingles over the gable to change to siding. And are we suggesting the two windows on the front elevation, Bob?
How do
Those
you
two
feel
windows?
about the different windows?
I'm okay with
Yeah, I
it,
think
It
that's
doesn't
nice.
bother me.
Nice.
because you
So
got
ju-
them there
Yeah, they kind of repeat
and, yeah.
it.
So just the shed roof and the shingles?
How do we all feel about the side?
The windows next to the.
Next to the
Make it
door.
narrower side.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe
narrower,
narrower.
yeah.
Yeah, either way is fine with me, but yeah, probably look better if it was narrower.
On the other hand, when she's going to put the shed over it,
Yeah,
it's
so
going to be
different.
less light.
Yeah.
coming
You'll
in.
have brackets above it.
So I guess the shed, that's.
All right, just those two things, David.
Okay, are we having her return on the 14th?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, you'll be in and out
Yes,
very
yeah.
quick.
all right, so if you can just revise the plans, submit it to me by next week, the 8th. The meeting will be on Tuesday of next week on the 14th
Okay,
at 8 p.m. and I'll send you the Zoom info.
okay.
All right, thank
All right,
you.
great, thanks. Okay,
All right, bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right, actually.
Okay. All right, our next application is 54 Hunts Place. They're returning for the sign.
Good evening, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay?
Uh-huh.
Who's on? Everyone else, if you can mute. Who's on for 54? Keith?
This is actually Scott Duker. I'm Design Director for Development at Conifer.
Hi.
Hi. Joining me tonight is Paul Marfione. He's Senior Project Director at Conifer, and also Keith Clancy from WMW Architects. Yes, we are returning for our proposed sign at the property. And let me share my screen. Everyone see that okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. I believe you're all familiar with the site. You've seen all this last 2 weeks ago when you met, and this is a result of the comments that we received at that time. But this is here on the top of the plan. This is the plan of the proposed sign. This is where you descend off of the parkway on the off ramp. You come down, and here's the intersection. You take a right into our property. Here is the proposed sign location. Currently, there are bollards here, steel bollards that provide a restraint. We have a gas rig, and we've got some other utilities here. So we've got existing bollards that we're going to use to our advantage to kind of create the foundation for our sign. And typically for a project in this sort of setting, we would have a ground mount sign with like a rectangular base that's clad with brick or stone. But due to the amount of underground utilities that are running through this space here, it's really not an option. So what we're proposing to do, and we probably explained this last time, so that might be a little bit of a repeat for you, but we're going to wrap the existing bollards with a CMU, and then we're going to clad that with a cultured stone product that matches the cultured stone that's currently on the building now. And then our sign will bridge that on the top, and I'll show you some more pictures as we progress through. But the sign is going to bridge those two bollards, and it will be a carved wood product, and will also match all the color signs. The sign colors will match the siding on the building, as well as, like I mentioned, with the cultured stone. And go to the front of the sign will be a carved product, and the back of the sign, so that you don't see the attachments, will be a aluminum pan, basically, that be painted to match, so that the sign looks good from both angles, even if you really can't necessarily see it from back this point. But we felt that would just be a nicer product as a whole. The sign will be mounted to steel posts that will be embedded into the existing bollards. And then we'll mechanically attach the carved sign to those. Here's the kind of the framework for the signage. It's 10 square feet, 5 by 2, and then these are the stone posts, if you will, that are wrapping this dotted line here, which is the existing bollards. And then we've got a foundation for those bollards that we're, again, using to our advantage. So that will be our foundation for our posts, for our CMU block. And then these are the posts that are embedded into those bollards, and the sign is attached to that. We do have a rider panel down lower than that. And this basically gives the information, who we are, phone number, our website, and then it's the fair housing symbols, as well as handicap accessible. On the side of the sign post that's facing the parkway off ramp, we'll have a 54 that marks the number of the building, which will also be on the front of the sign as well. This is a little bit, takes away the framework so you can really see the sign as it is. And this kind of describes, I know one of the comments from last time was someone didn't necessarily care for the font. So we revised the font. This is called Melgun Gothic. This is very similar to the signage that's on the interior of the building, so it relates well. The 54 is a foot high, and then the remainder here is 6-inch high. This is capitalized, and the apartments is not capped. The rider panel is an Arial font, a Conifer community. Now that Arial font is part of our corporate logo. So this font is really, we really need to keep that for our logo's sake and for our marketing and for our image. But now the two fonts, at least in my opinion, relate a lot better to each other. I know that was a concern with one of the members last time. But as I mentioned, these stones will match the stone on the building, and then the background of the sign will match the darker greenish blue clapboard siding that we have on the building. Another comment that we received last go around is we had a kind of a tabletop precast. We've now managed to separate that, and each post has its own precast cap, and the precast color will match the precast on the building. There's a band, that's a perimeter band that wraps around the whole building, and we're going to match the color of that. Here are the posts. Those would be painted white to match the white border that we have around the carved base here. And then all the lettering is going to be white. Show you a colored image.
How will it be illuminated?
There will be a ground mount light, dark sky compliant, so there wouldn't be any light shed to neighboring properties. It's low voltage lighting, LED. And this, as I mentioned, this color is a little off because it doesn't render as well as I'd like it to, but this bluish green
We're not
color,
seeing the color.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's probably why, because I'm not sharing my screen. I have to change that. Let me get out of this. Stop the share. Try that again. Sorry about that. Can you guys see that now?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay, as I mentioned, this is the kind of the greenish blue color from the
It's a lot
siding, the
different.
clapboard.
The blue's a lot different than
I
that.
think it's the screen versus the print.
So we have a printed version here, and the blue's much deeper,
Yeah, it's just
which is accurate.
It would be more probably I don't know exactly. It depends on, it varies between printers. I have a feeling that probably the one that you have in front of you as a hard copy is closer to the color of the building siding. This is just a rendering, just on my screen. It doesn't render quite. It'd be a little more greener than this, but the border around it will be white. There is a grooved panel or a grooved line, that perimeter. It's a relief basically that will be white as well. And then the rider panel will have the same border around it, and all the text will be in white. Cultured stone, as I mentioned, this would be a kind of a low growing grass, decorative grass. That would be for the landscaping.
And how is the conifer sign adhere to the post? It almost looked like you got 4 bolts in the corner. Is that intentional? Is that what that is?
Yeah, those are steel posts. They're decorative rods, I guess. They'll be stainless steel. They will be post mounted through the CMU, so it's going to be semi-recessed into the stone so that it looks built into it. It's not going to be slapped on top. So the stone will wrap around the rider panel.
So everything is very symmetrical and centered and everything, except for that 54, which throws everything off. And I understand, I guess you want it bigger. Did you consider putting it on top of Hunt's Place? Stack it with 3? It just looks very lopsided to me because everything else is so centered.
We did. It gets a little crowded trying to get the 54. I mean, we really wanted to note that the 54 is the building location, the address.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
It just looks odd to me. And then another question I have, so you were trying to keep the same identity for the line a conifer community, but you're really not capturing the same, you're not capturing the logo as it is because there's a lot of letter spacing on the logo, which isn't there on, so there's some leeway, I see.
Yeah, it's not exact match logo. It's just the font. We use Arial for our logo. So we use Arial for the informational portion of our site. It's not the exact logo.
Does that 54 bother anyone?
Doesn't bother me actually, just because it's so much bigger, it draws your eye to it.
There's no line of sight issues with the height of the sign at the intersection, is there?
No, I would think not. It's pretty low considering that it sticks so high out of the ground. That's why we made it very rectangular and low, and that's why we didn't incorporate the rider panel up into the main sign. And I know that was a suggestion from last go around. That would then put the sign up even higher, another 6 inches taller, which right now it's as high as out of the ground as we want it to be, in terms of max, and that's because we're dealing with the bollards that we have. Typically, it would be a little lower, but we're working with conditions we have, and that's why we basically skinnied up the width, or the height, I should say, of the top portion of the sign.
Okay, you're approved.
Good.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Okay, have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
You too.
Thank you, you too.
What?
Okay, our next applicant is 9 Maria Lane.
Evening, can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, you're muted again.
Just muted.
Hi, I'm Len Brandis Architects. I'm here also with Abby Ellsworth, who's on the screen as well. And Tom Casper's with us as well. The two owners of the house are with us. Can I share the screen to show some
Yes, please.
photographs?
Yes.
And there we go. Can you see my screen?
No,
Have you seen the photographs or not?
No, nothing.
You're not sharing.
Nothing. Let's go back and let's sharing again. Let's see. Take that. I'm looking for you guys.
Daisy, can you share it?
Yeah, I'm having trouble with this for some reason.
Daisy can share it.
Daisy,
You're on mute.
I didn't bring anything home with me. I've been out of the office this last week.
Oh, let me try getting back on. I may have to reset myself on here because I can't even get back onto the screen for some reason. Let's see. Attendees Zoom I don't need.
I'm gonna try grabbing it from the town website.
I wonder if one of us should bring a computer next time.
Hopefully this doesn't happen again.
It really would do that. Good, Daisy.
All right, I'm gonna try to share mine. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just gonna scroll through everything and you can just talk.
I'm actually, for some reason, I can't see my screen at all. I can't see you guys at all.
Okay. So you want to stop sharing your screen?
I'm trying to do that.
Okay.
You may have to
I'm just,
reset.
I may have to restart my
Yeah.
Zoom into here. Can I restart my Zoom?
Go ahead. I'm gonna go through it, and the homeowners, they can walk us through the pictures.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay.
That's okay. We can definitely do that. So the picture in the middle is our existing house. As you look at it from the street coming in, the one below is kind of a side view. You can see it's a double car garage roof and it's a driveway. And this is the back of our house looking straight from behind. You can see the deck that we're looking to extend and bring out, as well as we have some extra area that's been fenced off from the previous owners when we first bought the house, that we were looking to increase some storage. We don't have a lot of storage in the home at all. If you scroll down a little bit to the side, that little area there that has a window and a little air conditioner is our garage. My husband does a lot of work in there. We don't really have a good space for him. And so some of the stuff from the garage that should be in the garage is in my basement. And so I would love to add a little storage through there with an access point. We use a lot on the side of the house. This is the other side of the house on the opposite side that faces into the woods into one of our neighbors. That's through there.
Where is Maria Lane?
So we are on the west end of Newcastle, right off of 134.
Near 9A.
Right by 9A.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that neighbor house?
Right by Graceland Kennels, if you know where Graceland Kennels are.
The guy that built the big garage. Not this one, the one above it.
Wait, 134 goes to IBM. Is it?
Yeah, that's what
On the other side.
Yeah, we're on the other side of that.
Yeah.
The woods behind us is actually back into Maryhill, whatever that is.
Yeah, so the Briarcliff Peekskill Trailway is behind us, and then Mary Knoll is directly continuing from that.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's way out there. That's Newcastle. That's Newcastle. I didn't realize.
Just, yes.
Maryknoll's not Newcastle.
That's the border.
Huh?
All right. So can you just let us know what you're proposing?
You guys can you hear me still?
Yes.
Yes. Can you
I
see
cannot
us?
see you at all. In fact, I seem to be locked out completely from getting onto your Zoom. I just tried restarting, and
We can see you, so the Zoom is on somehow.
somehow.
So can you go back to the first floor plan? Can someone talk us through what's new, what do you, where is the house being pushed out?
So if we go wherever you guys want to stop, I'll give you.
No, stop on the first floor, Daisy. You're right there.
Hold on. Nope.
The other one. That's it.
All right, perfect. So looking at this where her arrow just was, we're looking to put a full length deck along the back of the house.
Lodging the garage. By doing that,
He's frozen.
No, we lost you.
Now he's gone.
You're on
Can't hear
mute.
you.
You may want to call him.
Len, you're on mute. Okay.
There we go.
and you see, am I sharing or not sharing?
I'm sharing my screen.
All right.
Can you walk us through the first floor plan and just talk to us about what's new and what you're doing?
What we're doing new is that we enlarged on the left-hand upper section, we didn't change the entry to the house, so it's towards the left work of the house where we enlarged the kitchen and created an open space for the kitchen area and dining area. There used to be a door, it was a demolition plan before this, but there was a door originally from the garage into the dining room, the existing dining room, which is where the fireplace is. We removed that area and we created a new entry from the garage by expanding the garage. And now I have a little mudroom when I first walk in where I have a bathroom and a laundry room in that space. So I improved the house by having that, and also taking the bathroom, which used to be directly into
You see, they're filling this in.
in the past in the previous
What?
drawing.
No, now he's talking about the entry for
This
the
area.
garage and the dining room.
But in terms of expanding the house, are they just filling this in?
Expanding the house is the only areas in the back by the garage.
Yeah. Right, but this wall is staying the same, they're just changing the interior.
Exactly. We changed the interior. We expanded the garage area in the back, where I was able to bring some of the interior into that space. So you go back up. The existing houses along the existing wall of the house that you're seeing right now, that's the roof plan. And our new roof is coming over the garage there. The front of the house is not changing. As you can see, this is the front on the left side. If we go down, where Daisy is sharing the plans over there, you can see the left of the house where we have a new entrance to the garage, expanded roof, and our new deck in the back of the house. And if you may have seen, I did have aerial views of the back of the house, by the way, from the Google. So I know you asked for that as well. So interior-wise, we're just expanding some of the house. We're adding storage to the base because we needed some additional storage space. We're adding storage to underneath the garage area that we're expanding. And right now we're going with materials that match the house. The siding will be the same as the existing siding. We're expanding the existing siding. Roofing will be the same as the existing house as well.
So wait, it says proposed front elevation, but you're not changing it.
There's no change in the front, correct. There's no change in the front elevation. The only changes in
So
the
it's-
side elevation here.
So it's basically existing.
So it's
Okay.
just the right side and the back, right? On the elevation, it's just behind the garage, right? Two sides?
And not the left elevation?
Just
That's the
that, I
same,
guess.
Here's where we
That's where the
expanded.
garage
If you look at the photographs, I do have
It's just
another
this
drawing. If I
says
could
proposed.
share that, I could try sharing again afterwards if you like. But
Do you
I
want
have a
me,
drawing that
do you want me to
shows-
stop sharing?
Stop sharing. Let me try again and see what happens. Okay. For some reason, I can't seem to get onto my screen. And I'm
We're not
still-
gonna work then.
I'm not able to share for some reason. This isn't my computer, and I'm having trouble
Oh,
getting.
changing, this is changing, right? This is new.
Yeah. So
This is the back of
this
the
is
garage,
staying the
this is
same.
exactly the same, except for this is new.
Exactly.
This is all the same, this is new.
Yeah.
Maybe this is new.
It's a deck and
this is the
garage
same,
extension.
And this back here,
Yeah,
and back here.
uh-huh,
So this piece and the deck.
yeah.
I'm actually gonna try a different computer. See if I can get on.
That's right. What? But they're not touching.
What, this?
Yeah,
That's the one, that's,
that's the garage.
yeah, at the back of the garage.
Where he wanted more work.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, the only thing added, if you looked at those original pictures from that fenced-in area, is where the back of the garage is a small addition there for storage. And then just the extending the deck to go along the back of the house, we have a little more deck area. The deck there is a little bit unsafe at this point, so we just wanted to do something better with it.
No, I did this kind of ceremony stuff.
Yep. Thank you, Daisy.
Now there's no window in the garage.
Right, there's no window. But it's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, comment there?
No issues.
Comment?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, here, what's behind this wall exactly?
Storage,
That one?
and,
The storage?
Oh, you're looking at the garage.
Yeah.
this-
Yeah.
That's the extension of the garage.
That's
One window.
here. Yeah, if you could actually, this is the, this area. You see, we could have one more window here. There's
What would be
room.
nice, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just storage.
No, I know, but you see here, it's
Yeah.
just kind of, it's out of.
So can you go to the rear elevation, Daisy, please?
Because it's very unbalanced and
Yeah.
not even frontal. And if there is a reason for it, but it doesn't seem like from the plan that there is a reason for it.
So the thought from the board is in the back left of the proposed rear elevation, you have one small window in the enlarged back of the garage. Would you consider having two windows in that room just to?
Yes, I think we can do that. We can put two windows across the back to balance out the other side. I can see.
Right, right,
It is recessed back further, but yes, I can see that working.
to the left of the door, yeah.
Yep, to the left of the door.
That would be great.
Okay,
I think that's our only comment.
okay, can we approve
You're
that?
good with me just making the notes, or do you need them to return?
You can just note,
Just note that.
Okay, we'll note that, so.
Okay,
Just note that,
The building department with the double window there.
Just gonna be the same size as the other windows, right?
Yes,
okay. So 2 windows back of garage, left of door.
correct.
Add one to the left of the door.
Okay, if you can just send me the revised plans,
Yep, I will take care of that.
and that's it. You're all set.
Thank you. Sorry, but I couldn't get this thing to work with the going, but we tried.
Okay.
Okay, have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay. Tim is up next, 15 Marcourt Lane Drive.
Hey Daisy, can I share?
Hi. Yes, you can.
Hey, it worked.
Magic.
All right, so we're over on Marcourt, which is part of Dodge Farm off of Quaker. You come up Marcourt, it kind of bends around, and ridge comes up off of it. Well, this property is here at the kind of a 3-fronted lot line here. So the addition we're planning on doing is in the back of the house over here. You can see the driveway comes up on the left, swings around. There's a big parking area there. They have, a few cars, and we want to put a 3-car garage and a couple of rooms above it. These are the other houses in the neighborhood. You can kind of get the hint that they're pretty farmhousey and very white. Nice character with dormers and interesting roof lines. Some of the houses across the street, you can't even see. The foliage is very thick all along here. And in fact, the topography works out where this is actually up high. It slopes here to the road and keeps sloping down. So the people down here have a minimal view, if any, of what we're going to be doing over here. Here's the site plan, kind of a blown up view of that last drawing. Driveway comes up. Right now, the way to get into the house is either to come up these stairs and around the front, or up a set of stone stairs and into a small back porch that's over here. So in addition to adding the garage, we're also going to make a side entrance porch and a new mudroom and coat area and a new stairway, so they can actually enter the house from the driveway and from the garage and get up into this house. So there's your 3-car garage. This is over here is going to be a 3-season room, sunroom, 1-story. And like I said, because the grade is up high over here and low over here, when you see the elevations, you'll see we kind of tuck the garage into the landscape. Here's a blown up view of the floor plan. Down low, this is all currently just an unfinished basement down here. We're going to come in from the side into this porch, into our mudroom and expanded coat area, up a flight of stairs and into the house. 3 doors along this facade here. This is all buried under the ground over here, as is this workshop. There's also going to be a generator back here that'll be tucked behind a couple of stone walls. So it'll be nicely tucked away and keep the impact minimal when it has to be used. Upstairs, first floor, you come up these stairs to a little balcony. This is actually a cathedral ceiling looking down into that lower space. And from here, I can have you go straight ahead into this sunroom with a lot of windows and doors. There's also going to be some doors from this living room to let some light in. Even though it's the north side, we did put some skylights to get as much light in here as possible, to get back into the living room. There's also going to be 2 additional rooms back here, an office space, family space. And you can see from the floor plan, what's going to be happening on the elevations is this is going to be a nice dormer that sets into the main roof of the garage. We were also asked to do some work up on the 2nd floor in this small bedroom to gain some closet space. So we actually, we're able to figure out a way to get a nice walk-in closet, integrate the roof line nicely with what we're adding, plus with what's there already. We're also going to change a window on the back, and you'll see when we get there, you're going to come up these stairs to a landing and turn and go back up again. Right now, there's a couple of small double hung windows in there. And with the way we're putting our roof lines in, those windows wouldn't quite fit. So we thought we'd make a nice kind of a monumental window facing the backyard. It's very private back there. But we thought it made a very interesting addition to the back elevation. So this is the view from the garage, driveway right now. Very basic, just straightforward, gable, colonial. There's that back porch. Here's the existing garage, which use that term loosely. It's basically a storage area because you can't even fit a car in there. And this is the area where the new garage is going to go. Really not touching any of this at all. We're not touching the front of the house, and we're not touching the other side. So here's the addition. The existing house is all here. There's your 3 bays of the garage. This is tucked under a porch. Here's a low 1-story eave line here from the driveway elevation to keep the mass down along this side. The rooms up above the garage were set up to have windows that kind of mimic what's going on in the existing house. This window and that window are exactly the same. This is an egress window, a little bit bigger. The room could handle it. But all of the dormer peak and all, I think, is in the correct proportion compared to the rest of the house. The roofing will all match existing. The siding up here is going to match the clapboards that are on the house over here, as well as the shutters. But down below and coming around the other side, I wanted to switch it up a little bit and go with a board and batten that'll now take your eye and bring it around as a separate entity from the rest of the house. There was no way I was going to match any of this stone or introduce all this stone down here, and there would be very little of it anyway. And it gives us a chance to kind of make more of a hip addition of a barn onto an old farmhouse. Coming around the opposite side, this was a previously done addition from a few years ago. The addition from up here, you're going to see back over in this part. So this is that current little porch that's in the back right there. This is the shed roof of the sunroom that we have with some windows that are going to match the double hungs of the rest of the house. This elevation also gets to stay as a nice 1-story scaled, facade. So it doesn't block a lot of light coming into a back patio. This actually will give even more privacy for the family. Not that there's not enough with the natural screening, but there's going to be a patio back here. Their backyard is over there. So there's going to be a lot of activity in this backyard, and there won't be a lot of light blocking it from the western western sunset. We use some big doors to get out onto this patio. This set of doors is a 12-foot door, so the 2 center doors can open. There's going to be another one on this facade. You'll see it in a second. So standing back in the backyard, it's going to be very light, very glass, and very, a little bit more up to date, of a look with the board and battens. This office or family room over here is also going to have the double hung windows that are like what you see in the rest of the house. Front of the house, essentially no work. The only thing you would ever see is the little bit of a porch that projects out on the side where we're coming in from the driveway. But as you can see from here, it would be down in this area, almost no impact at all. Back elevation gets fun. This is where we had a little bit more of the interesting problem to solve is I had to get a closet up here. I had to get rooms and a stair over here, and I had to get a sunroom over here. So there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of windows, a lot of things we didn't want to move or couldn't move. So we feel like we solved their problem, pretty nicely here. The way we set up roof lines. This is an existing window in a walk-in closet. This is the new sunroom. These are the big 12-foot door with the 2 middle sliders. We actually mimicked the existing columns and pilasters that are on the house at this sunroom here and here, which flank the door. And we took a kind of the same board and batten feeling and used it to mimic the doors over on each side. This will be a metal roof here with the skylights in it. There's my nice kind of monumental window at the top of the stair, still lets light in, nice little appearance from inside and out. And to achieve the one-story eave lines on both elevations, you see we kind of ended up with a salt box situation where this is the one story from the backyard. It comes up to a modest peak, slopes back down to the one story at the garage level. And again, this is the window in that room. Shed dormers flank each side of the dormer that's in the office over here, roof to match. And this is where it all kind of came together to have it all kind of fit, where it needed to. So this cross section helps us show how we're relocating a window in that existing bedroom. You're going to come in the porch, up the stairs, out into this sunroom, flat ceiling here that matches the existing first floor. And there's our little closet for their son. And that's what we got.
It's good. So when you turn left on Marcourt going away from town, it's the house on that hill, right past the ridge, right?
The house
They
on the
still live
hill.
on Marcourt, yeah.
It is.
Because I lived on Marcourt a while ago.
Yeah, it's kind of in the island between Ridge and Marcourt.
Yeah. Looks good.
Nice.
I think it's really nice.
Big ambitious project.
Yeah, it is a
I
big
think it's
one.
terrific.
Thank you.
It's an architect who knows how to use shutters.
Say that again?
I've become known as a shutter guy. You know how to use shutters. So.
Listen, when I come into this room, I know all about shutters, so it ain't happening again.
Looking at that double window before you took it out and put the circle in, I was like, yes. Okay, you're approved. Thank you. Nice project.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good evening.
Okay. Our next application is 1272 Hardscrabble Road. Who's presenting for 1272?
Oh, this is Joe.
What's your name?
Architects. Joe Lito from Crisp Architects.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What's your name?
Joe Lito from Crisp Architects.
Okay. Are you able to share your screen?
Unfortunately, I'm on a tablet, so if you could.
Hold on 1 second.
Where is this? Oh, my gosh.
And here's another full size. Sorry, another one.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the pictures.
Okay.
So it's hard scrabble and what? What's the cross street?
I think it's between Hilltop and Quaker.
Oh. Got it.
Is this the house or is this?
This is the 1272. This is actually the front facing towards the road. You can't see it from the road itself, but this is the front elevation, roadside. Okay, that is the front as you come around on the driveway. So the front door is down on the left, covered porch wrap around on the right. This is the opposite of the roadside. So this is the parking, small garage. As you can see, 2-story, there's a slate roof. And the area that we will be doing the addition. And then this is the rear of the house. We'll be doing some minor work here as well. Okay, as you can see here from the road, it is, there's no visible sign of the house. You can kind of see a little bit on the left. This is the neighbor at 1266. This is their house, a little more visible. This is across the street. This is the neighbor on the other side. You just can't see anything. And this is down the hill a little bit, and you can't see their house either. Okay, as you see here, the dotted lines, there is an existing bay window in the kitchen. We would remove that and extend out to match the little stair area on the right next to it. And then on the right, we would be adding a very small mudroom, just a place for you come in when you're outside, have a lot of grass area, lawn, things like that, a lot of maintenance. So come in, be able to knock your muddy boots off before walking through the house. Here you can see that we would keep that existing bump out in the back, but the bay we would push out to match so that there's a little bit more space for a kitchenette in the kitchen. And then on the right, you can see the bump out for the very small mudroom. Here, the upper elevation.
Right.
Sorry.
The upper elevation, you can see the mudroom with a small little roof and some steps going in. And then around the rear.
Sorry, we're getting, there's some leaks happening in here.
Oh.
Look at this whole thing. We need to get a bucket. Hold on.
Actually, this whole line.
I know, it's all. You could go ahead.
Okay. And then on the rear elevation, you can see there was a slate roof, the lower roof, up too far, go back one. Up a little bit more, that bottom elevation, you can see that there's the existing bay in the dining room. We will be keeping that, but there is a slate roof over that we will just extend across to cover the little banquette area in the kitchen. And then on the left, you can see the door into the mudroom. And if you scroll down, front elevation, no change whatsoever. And from the front door elevation off the driveway, you can just see the back of the mudroom.
You need me to go back up to any other plans?
Yeah, if you just go back to the floor plan, like
Sorry, where?
the floor plans.
Is that a? Yeah, that's going downstairs. For the stairs, right? Wait, can you go back to the? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's just like an overhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will be matching the slate roof on the back of the house, and the siding will remain, will match the existing siding of the house. The only different material would be over the mudroom, where you would do a metal roof, just because of the lower pitch.
And could you bring the picture of, because we don't have the existing elevation of the south side, but the picture of the south side, where the whole work is going.
Keep going. Two more. There you go. So you can't really see it, but behind the tree there is a double window there. That would be the location of the mudroom.
Mudroom?
That's the west, so the other, around the corner.
You want one more, I think? The one with the two bay windows below, one more down, yeah, that one right there, yeah. So that's where the change is. The front door is here.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's some trees. It's very hard to back up to take the photo, but you can see where the entry door is on that little bump out. We would keep that line and stay under that existing slate roof. The bay on the right would stay, but the one on the left we would remove. And
What is it?
Flash flood. Warning.
In our area?
Flash flood one.
12. Do not attempt to travel. I'm glad we all came in.
I got an hour
Yeah,
to go.
let's do this quickly.
Let's go quickly.
Hey, let's do this
Yeah.
quickly then. No, seriously, I don't want trees.
Yeah.
So let's try to move along.
Tornado warning, nice.
Is there anything?
Tornado warning too?
Yeah.
I did hear that earlier.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there anything?
Okay.
So do you have comments on this one?
Yes, why is this one so narrow, that window, is there a reason for it? On the south elevation?
So we got a fireplace in the middle, so we have a big fireplace in the middle, so they put 3 skinny windows.
But this one looks extra skinny.
Is it?
Because these are two.
This is right here.
Okay, is this
You,
different?
you sent to me.
On the proposed south partial elevation, you have 3 windows. A201 facing. No, the one above, I think. That one. Is that the window you're talking about?
Yeah.
On the far right.
Why is it like that?
So the
Yep.
far right one's extra skinny.
Those 3 windows supposed to be the same size? They don't look at you. There's no mullion in the middle, right?
Right.
correct. The one is taking the place of where the door is. In between the other 2 windows would be a small little fireplace. So to just bring a little extra light for that staircase, we did bring in a thinner window.
Is it possible to fit 3 windows the same?
Unfortunately, there's not enough space to be able to fit. I don't think the 3 of the same size and still have some room for casing and the corners. If we go back to the picture,
There's so much hair.
Can the 2 larger ones move together a little bit? Could you set
picture
some video?
the next one. To where the door is, we're trying to keep that footprint. So that would be the existing corner that we would maintain. And then to the left, there's a bay that we would remove and keep that all in that same line. Now, due to where the house is located, there's rock outcropping behind where the photo taker was standing.
Okay, but on either side of the fireplace, you have 2 wider windows, and then you have
Correct.
skinny. Okay, could you have 3 equal ones? Maybe the 2 on either side of the fireplace
thinner.
are thinner, so that you have enough dimension to get so there's 3 equal.
Page 8. Page 8.
Maybe I don't know what the width is, but maybe there's a size in between the skinny and the wider, and you get 3 equal soldiers.
Right. We would have to go to the thinner. These are the 2 standard size windows. So to do it, it would have to all go to the thinner. We were just trying to bring a little bit more light into that side of the kitchen.
There's so much variation.
I like this
I know.
much better than this. There was a relationship between the the upper windows and the lower windows, and here it's all lost.
Well, they want to get apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're approved. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hey,
Well,
let's try to see how it goes.
Hi, Bill.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm great.
hi. Hey, Bill, we got
Yes.
an alert and we're all at we're out at town hall, so
Work fast.
work fast, please.
I will give you
We
the
don't wanna get hung.
expedited overview and
Looks good, thank you, Mike.
now, so a quick thing to say. We've updated the elevations, particularly some details that we wanted to refine from what you have there. The floor plans are pretty much the same. So the quick overview is it's a 2-story Cape-style house built in 1937, about 2,800 square feet in the house. Small spaces, especially on the second floor. You know, Cape-style bedrooms are very small, tucked under the roof. So there are 2 principal things we want to do to the house. I'll show you the elevations real quick. Here's the front. You can see my screen, by the way, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's the front of the house. It's tucked into the south corner of the property. Driveway right up, slightly downhill to the garage doors. A very tiny front entrance area. What we're proposing is a 1-story addition on the right end of the house for a family room and den, about 20 feet wide by 30 feet long or deep, and then bumping out the second floor on the rear to enlarge the 2 kids' bedrooms that are on the second floor. The ridge line remains the same. The front of the house remains the same, except for the right end. So what you're looking at there, all of that would remain the same. Here's a view of the right, from the right side of the front of the house. And that's the right side is where we're going to do this addition. Here's the existing screen porch on the rear. Are you guys okay there still?
Well, keep on going.
I'm
How
almost
far do you
done.
have?
Everyone.
I'll show you some quick
You-
perspectives.
You can't leave right now.
I'll finish the meeting.
Okay.
A few more minutes is not gonna make a difference.
Okay.
But thank you.
Here's the 3D of the front of the house where we're adding the 1-story addition on the right end. Again, a family room, 20 feet wide, 30 feet deep. And we're adding a stone near base to the ground of it just to add a little more interest in the elevation materials. We're also creating a new mudroom or laundry room, adjacent to this existing side door and putting a canopy roof and a column for that to protect that side entrance. Here's another view from the upper side, the left end of the house showing the front. I'll show you the quick 3D view of the rear of the house. Here is the 2nd-story bump out with the 2 bedrooms on either end and a playroom space in the middle, and then the family room end on the left end of the house. I want to show you the floor plans here real quick because we're doing one thing at the rear right corner of the new family room. We're doing a diagonal wall here. Since their house is shoved into the sort of front left corner of the property, there's a beautiful view out to the rear right. So we wanted to enhance that view with a diagonal wall at the rear right corner of the new family room and den addition. So that's, you see that in that elevation, family room, mudroom, or sorry, call it mudroom, laundry room on the 1st floor. It's in the basement. Show you real quick the 2nd floor. So they have 2 existing small bedrooms at either end of the 2nd floor. And so we're bumping out the rear of the house and that 2nd floor to enlarge those bedrooms and also to create a playroom space in the center. The 1 bedroom gets a little bit of an enlarged walk-in closet. I'll show you real quick the elevations here. Start with the front elevation. That shows the family room addition to the right end. It's a tray ceiling up the tall ceiling space. This window at the top is in the upper part of the ceiling space. And here's that side door where we're doing the new entrance and the laundry room. The rear of the addition is this. The second story bump out is this. Again, the ridge remains the same as the existing, so nothing changes from the front. And we pop out the roof on the rear to create the 8-foot ceiling height space across the back of the house so that those bedrooms get normal square footage in them. Double window here, triple window over here, giving a nice character to the elevation since there's a beautiful view out to the rear. And then this is the family room, new family room. One other feature I want to show you, the right side of the house, the family room. The owners didn't want to have windows on this side. A view towards a neighbor's house that they didn't want to put windows here. So we've introduced a set of panels to kind of mimic windows on the first floor, but that's all blank, no windows there. But then we're introducing a dormer up on the roof to bring in daylight from this side of the house into that space. So there are windows across that dormer, and you saw again that dormer is this feature on the left side of the house. That's the fast presentation. I can show you neighbors' houses here. Everybody's got 1930s colonial style houses. So that's it.
That's fine.
Yep. We're good.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Drive
Have a good night.
safely, travel safely. Thank you for your
Okay.
time.